Hello, Trim the Fat community. It's Rhonda, and I want to share with you a fitness secret. It's been a great addition to my life. Shred 415 in downtown Memphis. If you're ready to kick fear and anxiety to the curb while sculpting your best self, Shred 415 is the place to be. Picture this: 4 15-minute intervals of heart-pounding cardio and muscle-burning strength training. It's not just a workout, it's an empowering experience. I've been there, I've felt the burn, and I've loved every minute. Head over to shred415.com. That's shred, SHRED 415.com to learn more and then pick a class. Shred 415, shaping lives one interval at a time. Hey, and welcome to Trim the Fat, a podcast created and designed to help you on your emotional, your spiritual, and your physical journey. We hope to have conversations to lead you into being the best version of yourself. Get rid of those fears, anxieties, and trauma that keep you stuck. I'm Dr. Rhonda Garner, and I am a mom, I'm a pharmacist, and a friend. And I have a friend of mine here today to help us talk about those things that keep us stuck. Stacy Vason, a great friend, an entrepreneur, a master stylist, and more. Stacy.
Thank you for having me.
Introduce yourself to some of my friends here today.
Yes. Okay. So my name is Stacy Vason, and I am in the beauty industry.
Yes.
A beauty professional, from education to hairstyling, as well as television talk shows, and a variety of things I've done in the industry.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
I've been knowing Stacy for over 20 years, and I have so many things that I can say about you.
Thank you.
But what we're going to do is get into it.
Okay.
What's been going on with you? Some of the things that's been keeping you going, keeping you happy, keeping you whole.
Okay, so as of lately, what's been going on? Since COVID, okay, let's talk about COVID.
Yes,
let's
please.
go back a few years, okay? So COVID, it was a terrible time, but on the flip side, for me, it was a pivotal time as well, because at that time, I had to sit with myself and evaluate, because we couldn't go anywhere, right? So I evaluated my life and which direction I wanted to go, because at that point in time, I decided to go in a different direction. Before COVID, I had my own salon, hair care products. I had also done on Memphis Live, I had my own beauty segment as well. And I was doing other things in the industry. But it was time for me to expand. And I didn't know which direction I wanted to go in. So during COVID, I decided and I pondered. I do a lot of writing, so I sat down and wrote down ideas to try to figure out which direction did I want to go. And would that direction lead me ultimately to the life that I want to live? So
that's what I'm saying. Yes. I love that. So one of the things that I admire about you is that you go after what you want.
Yes.
You go after, you don't let anything stand in your way.
Yes.
But that's hard for a lot of people.
Yes.
So one thing you just said was you wrote down a plan. You went after it. Tell us more about like how that writing down can make it real. Like, because I get stuck. I say, okay, I have all these things I want to do, like this podcast. And it took like a few months to get things in motion for me to go, because I had other things like hindering me and distractions. So how do you, because that's one thing I can say, Stacy is a go-getter.
Yes. Okay, so I have to visualize, what does that look like? What does it feel like? Is it in the environment that I'm already in, or is it in another environment? So I break it down to get specifics of it, so then I'm able to intentionally take the next step. So during COVID, I began to just ponder ideas. Okay, what are my options? I can stay in the position I'm in with the salon and with the hair care company. If I do that, I will have to expand it to the next level. I cannot remain here, because I've been in this for 4 years and I like growth. Okay, so I monitor my growth. So that was one option. The second option is I can add on a limb, or if you were a branch of the same company, and start another business, which was actually, well, I'm not going to say what it was, but that was another option, right? Then I said, okay, do I want to be in the environment that I'm in now? Okay? So when I asked myself and sat with myself with those questions, the ultimate answer came was relocation. And one thing that I must say about achieving any goals, about going after what you want, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. It may be hard, but as you begin to do it little by little, it becomes profound. Because like Oprah mentions this, you had it all along. You just didn't trust it.
It's true.
You didn't trust it. So that's one thing I can say. I trust myself. I trust what I want. I trust what I feel. I trust my capabilities.
Ooh,
I trust that. Now, have I always been there? Absolutely not. So that's a part of growth. That's a part of working on yourself daily, because understand, when we come into this world, our parents raise us the way they think they should, right?
The best they can.
The best they can, and do an awesome job. Okay. Then you go into the school system. Then you have society. Then you have friends. You have all of these things as you're growing up attaching to you. As you become an adult, you have to identify, does that have anything to do with who I want to be?
And what my purpose is.
And what your purpose is. Exactly, because your life you was born into may not have nothing to do with the life you were intended to live.
Ooh.
But it takes courage to let go. That's the big part. That's the big, when I talk to people, because, people call me and say, I have mentees that call and say, Stacy, you inspired me, and you were right. The hardest part was letting go. Yes, because we're creatures of habit.
Oh, I know it.
So if we're accustomed to the environment, we're accustomed to the people around us, we are accustomed to this and that, to step outside of that box takes great courage.
And we're accustomed to what we believe about ourselves.
Exactly. So that's another piece of the puzzle. Tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself that if you're afraid, say I'm afraid. Because every time I stepped out, I stepped out with, by faith, but I was afraid. But I did not allow the fear to stop me. I actually recognized the fear. And another thing that I don't do, before I get ready to do something, I tell no one.
I know.
No one. You know that about
me. I know
me.
that.
No one. Because you're already afraid. And it takes one person to say something
negative.
It's not necessarily negative, it's all they know. It probably isn't negative, and it's probably not for you to run to defeat. They're telling you the best they know, but the thing about people telling you the best they know, that's not all there is to know.
That's right. It's true. So let me say something about that, because you touched it. It triggered a memory for me, and I know you and I talk about this. You've helped me evolve into a lot of things that I've become and some of the things I've overcome. However, you said some of the things that people say, that's why you don't tell anybody, will lead you towards defeat or make you maybe second guessing yourself. And it'll make you stagger and wait and linger and not even do the things you are meant to do. That's been one of the things that I guess I regret sometimes. I think about, I shouldn't have said something to somebody. And it wasn't because they were doing it intentionally. Their reaction to it, because of all they knew, was like, really? You think you're ready for that? Or you think, don't you need to go to school for that? Or, things like that. And it makes you second guess and step back and be like, dang, well, maybe that's true. And then you put that on the back burner. But all along, my heart was in it.
Yes.
So I respect that. So this is one of the things I really didn't tell a lot of people about this until it got its wheels and motions and was working out.
Exactly.
So That's a great piece of advice.
And a mentee, I mentor a gentleman. He's in the beauty industry. And when I came back from, I guess we'll talk about my trip from overseas. But when I came back to Memphis, I guess it's been about 7 or 8 months ago, I went to visit him because I check up on him all the time. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And when I looked at him, his posture was not right. And he was tired, and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? What are you working on? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? And he said, Stacy, I'm just stuck. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. Get me your resume in 3 days. What is your first step? Oh, I got somebody. Call her up and tell her you're ready.
Okay. Motivate.
Call her up, and there's no more time to lose. You think tomorrow's coming. You think you're going to be here tomorrow. You're not guaranteed to be here tomorrow. What are you waiting for?
Right.
Okay, he leaves for London, got a London position. He leaves for London November 26th.
Okay, motivation.
And he realized that, Stacy, you just have to move. You have to force yourself to move in a direction that takes you to where you want to be and where you're most fulfilled. Because at the end of the day, that feeling on the inside for more is not there for no reason.
That's right.
That's your guidance system. It's your job to figure out what the more is. That's your journey. But when you sit back, well, maybe not. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. But
maybe not.
And so that's what I'm saying. You said he said stuck, because we do. We get stuck. Be like, okay, which way do I go?
But are you really stuck?
We make ourselves stuck.
Yes.
Right. Nothing else. Because there's ways, like you said, or something Oprah said. You always have it all. You had it all along,
and you won't trust it.
Yeah. And you don't have to buy it. You don't have to reach for. It's there.
It's already there.
And especially as you grow, as our life progresses, and the things that we overcome or the things that we thought we lost, it's really a lesson in what we lost.
Exactly.
So it's really a gain.
Exactly. And it takes courage to step out on faith on your dreams and being the person that you want to be. Because when you transform into something more and continuously grow, then probably your environment is going to change with it. It can't remain the same, and you've changed.
So let me say, okay, so I do want to talk about your trip and where you were.
Okay.
But it was something, is that part of the things that inspire you, like traveling and seeing new things and being around new people and cultures and things like that? Does that inspire you and help you get out of, you said a new location was something you knew you needed when you was writing down your plan. So does that, being in a different environment, motivate you?
So to answer your question, whether a different environment with different culture inspired me, absolutely. I FaceTimed my brother. I went to just to give the audience the backstory, I went over to the Middle East to work, and I stayed over there a little more than a year. Well, while I was over there, I FaceTimed my youngest brother, and he looked at me. He said, Stacy, you look happier. And I said, that's the thing you guys don't know. I thrive better in a multicultural environment, and I like different environments and different cultures that's different than me. I want to know about belief systems that's different than mine. I want to know about cultures that's different than mine. My greatest fear in life, it has always been that I would be narrow-minded. I don't want to be narrow-minded. I don't want to just know what's in my environment. I don't want to know just what I believe. I don't want to know just what I've done. I want to experience the world as a whole. And what we'll find out is, is that what I found is this, and you talk about what gives me inspiration. What I found working in the Middle East and abroad, because I worked in Paris as well, there are some wonderfully beautiful people out there in the world. Everybody's not evil.
That's true.
Everybody's not evil. Because you watch the news and you're scared to go outside of your door because somebody's going to attack you, or you're scared to get on a plane because you think somebody's going to. There are some beautiful souls out there. There are some kind people out there in the world. Everybody in the world is not evil.
That's whole nother podcast, because
everybody in the world is not evil. I blended in so well immediately.
I know.
Because that's my vibe, being in a different culture. When I was in Africa, blended it very well. When I was in Paris, when I was in the Middle East, all of those cultures are very different than my own. But again, that is what makes my soul happy.
Yes. Yes.
It makes my
soul And you were
happy.
able, so when you were over there, you said you were just in the Middle East. I know you've traveled so many places. So when you were over there, were you able to just adjust and get into your flow of things and work out, eat right? Like, because people are afraid to go places because they say, I'm not going to be able to do the things that I usually do at home.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Okay.
So did I have to make adjustment? Because the Middle East is very different than everywhere else in the world.
Okay.
Not just where I'm from, everywhere else in the world. So did I have to make adjustments? Absolutely. And it was my pleasure. It was my pleasure because I did not go there to be and experience the same thing. And when I went abroad, they said, well, when I would meet people, they said, oh, we know some Americans. I don't want to meet Americans. I didn't come here. I just left Americans. So everybody in my circle was from all places from around the world. I didn't have any Americans because I did not come there to see it. I know Americans. I just came from Americans.
Yeah, I want to see new things.
And see new things.
Really new things.
What is your culture? What is it that you believe? What is it, and be open to receiving it, and not only open to receiving, but even maybe adjusting my own belief system that I've adapted over the years.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So no, I love that, and we can go on and on because I know I was living vicariously through you when I FaceTimed you.
Exactly.
I said, let me look around. Let me see, what did you eat today? But we could talk about that for a long time. But
and the food is good.
The food,
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a foodie. You're a foodie.
We
love food.
We love
food. That's
yeah.
So I want to get back to so. Our trials in life, some of the things that you've been through, you don't have to talk about anything in particular unless you want to, but you have a drive. There's things that, it's not all positive things that drive us. So is there a particular experience or can I say fire that helped you say, okay, or motivated or pushed you to go through the fire, get to where you want to go to, that made you get that drive like you have right now?
Okay, so I get that question a lot. Where do I get my determination? Okay, some things you're just born with. I was born with determination. I don't have to work at being determined. It's my natural. It comes easy to me. I don't have to work at being courageous. I was born with those things. I don't have to work at being generous. I was born with that. Okay, so. But the things that I wasn't born with that I have to work on is patience, okay, and pride.
Okay,
so
I'm doing better with that.
Those things, are you? I'm doing better too. I have to consciously do better. Yeah. It's not. I can't just let it go. I have to remember, and especially with patience as well, because there are times I look back when I wasn't patient, and I messed the whole thing up. And all I had to do was just be patient. Now, on the flip side, there are other times that I wasn't patient, and I'm glad I wasn't because it wasn't worth me being patient. So you have to determine what's worth your patience, because some things are not worth waiting on.
That's true.
Yeah. So, and that, Noel Jones, Bishop Noel Jones, he was at New Directions 20 years ago. I don't know why this is coming up. 20 years ago, and I bought his 3 CD. He had 3 CDs called As a Man Thinketh. Okay. There's only one thing that I remembered on that DVD. He quoted somebody, and I can't remember who he quoted. He said this: some things are worth doing even if you don't win. Okay. Other things are not doing even if you win. Okay. You have to determine what is worth it to you. And that means patience too. Is this worth me being patient for? Is it going to give me the results I want or desire by me being patient with this thing? So I have to I tussle with that as well. So determination and things like that, the dreams I've had as a little girl, I still have them. I don't let anything or anyone detour me from those dreams. They are still there. Yes. They're still there. I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and that's what people say. They say, "What in the world is driving you?" That little girl.
But we have to have that little girl. Yeah. We have to define and be able to know what is driving us, because if we're not able to say, okay, depict or see or separate if it's something good driving us, if it's something that's not in our reach, that's saying, okay, I think that we can attain anything that we really meant to be to attain. But if we're saying, oh, somebody told me to do this, or I'm doing what somebody else's dream is, because we get accustomed to that. Like, okay, if our family said, okay, I wanted you, like with me, they wanted me to go to school to be a doctor, but I found out I didn't really want to be a surgeon. They were saying that get us out the hood, I did end up being in the healthcare industry, but my dream, that was their dream, to go be a surgeon. I felt, like you said, that thing in your stomach. When I was going and pursuing that, I realized I didn't want to do it. I felt uncomfortable. I knew I didn't want to be around death. I didn't want to be the person that had the hands inside of a surgeon, or if somebody died, I knew that wasn't it. So I just went the other way.
Right.
And then there's other things, like people wanted me to stay in Chicago. Didn't want to do it. I felt it here.
You feel it.
And you gotta.
Something tells you.
Yeah.
And you have to trust that. Yeah.
And it's just hard, like trying to decipher through those things that,
Now, understand this. It has always been that little girl. I see her now, me, that wanted things and always knew that I was going to get those things for her. I was going to be that woman that I've always wanted to be, right? But that wasn't my only driving force.
Okay.
It was at a time that I had to evolve from people pleasing, trying to gain love through my accomplishments. Yes. I wanted to be loved, so I said, maybe if I'm great, maybe they love me more, and that's family. I had to evolve from that, and I did, and it's such a freedom that is indescribable.
Yeah.
So I didn't get here overnight. This has been a lifelong journey of perfecting myself and becoming better and better over time. It takes a whole lifetime to get yourself to where you want to be. It doesn't happen overnight. So I have to say, when you say you do it for other reasons, yes, I had those other reasons. I don't anymore.
Yeah.
No, I don't anymore.
What you said at the beginning, letting go.
I let that go. It's like, why am I doing that? I don't owe anybody anything. Yeah.
So if we creatures of habit, and we don't know that we're people pleasing or doing something for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a habit. Okay, if we're naturally a nurturer, you're naturally a giver. We share that same quality.
Yeah.
But like, how do we really let go, though? Because it could be like, okay, let me leave and get out of that environment. But then the mental hold, emotional hold.
Well, right. You can leave an environment, but the mindset will be the same. Right, I get that. So it's like you geographically changed, but you still carrying the same burden or the same toxicity with you.
Okay.
So that's about, again, it's a daily journey. You have to continuously become aware. And it's not going to happen overnight. It'll come out the blue, but you got to seek it first. Do you understand? If you say, okay, why do I keep doing this and this is not working for me? What is the driving force behind this?
Yeah.
Because remember I told you I had an interview with a major company. It was a spectacular position.
Yeah.
I had it in the bag. I was there, and I had one more interview, and the director said, you got this. You got this. You're going to cover all of Egypt, all of, certain regions overseas. Last interview, I jacked that interview up like never before. I could not believe I messed that interview up. And it was the final interview for the okay.
And
that was self-sabotage. What I realized about that moment, I didn't believe I could do it.
Oh.
I did not believe. That was the root of my sabotage.
Okay.
I did not believe, because it was a major, it was Egypt, it was the Middle East, Africa, and another region, Asia. Okay. And I would cover those regions in the beauty industry. I wanted the job. I would be good at it.
Yeah.
Even now I say I would be excellent at it. But I did not, I messed the last interview up. But that was because down in here, in my belly, my own belief system, I didn't believe I could do it.
Wow.
When I got to the root of it.
I get that too.
So it wasn't, when you self-sabotage, it's for a reason, and it's for you to look at it. It's for you to look at it, digest it, and understand, why did I believe that? Why did I believe that? There was no reason, because I'm fully capable.
Fully 100% or more.
100%, if not more.
Taken by story. They take it on. Yeah. So is that one of the things? Like, do you regret? There's any regret with that?
I don't have any regret.
Okay.
I don't have a regret because, again, it was a lesson learned.
Okay.
Because even if that job was for me, even with my with me faltering it, or I would have got it.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't for me, but at the same time, it was a lesson.
Okay.
And before I go to any interview or anything, I'd sit with myself for a minute and say, okay, where are you? What space you in? What space you in?
Let me get it together. Get this together. I want to rock and roll this because I want to put my best foot forward.
Exactly.
And so we put a lot of pressure on ourselves sometimes, but it's just getting there and saying, okay, if it's for me, but I want to be my best self for it. Okay. So what's one of your biggest lessons in life, one, that has catapulted you into the woman you are? Just a lesson from something.
It's okay to be who I really am.
Ooh.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I
want
can
to say
be
that.
who I really am. And whomever don't line up with that, or don't agree with it, or don't like it, it's not my problem.
It ain't that, and it's not for you to understand.
It ain't for me to understand. It's for me to let it go. But I have made a commitment to myself. I'm going to shine, because just like in Achille B, I used to do that. Take your shine, play little. To make other people feel comfortable. That was years ago. I don't do that anymore.
I still sometimes.
Yeah. So, no, I'm going to shine. I hope you shine with me.
Yes, I want to.
I want you to shine. Yeah. But you and whomever else.
Yes.
I'm not there competing with anyone. That's one thing I don't do in my life. I do not compare my life to anyone else's. Yeah, neither do I compare or compete with other people. There is no competition for me. It's all about my own growth. It's about my own steps. It's about me evolving as a human being into all the woman that God created me to be.
That's it.
That's
right
all
there.
I want.
And I love that. And I hope, that's 100% what we need to be striving for.
Yeah, but don't cry on me here.
I know.
Because this mascara.
Yeah, I got eyelashes.
Yeah, don't
Because I love it. I feel it. It's a good cry. I feel it though.
Yeah.
Because we do so. I mean, it's just like, you be like, okay, here I am. You know what I'm saying? Here I am, all of me.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Take it or leave it.
Yes.
It's your choice.
But don't dim my light.
But I will not dim my light.
I love that. I never seen you dim your light. I can say that.
Yeah.
I know you personally see it yourself, but I've always seen you as confident, and I admire that. So last question before we go is one of the things I like to ask everybody. For Stacy, what does a self-care, self-love looks like? What does that look like for you? When you really think about what state, like you say, you don't compare it to anybody else, what's something that you do for you that makes you feel great and good and you're taking care of yourself?
Okay, so my daily routine. When I was a teenager, I made a commitment that I would never have a medicine cabinet. That was a teenager. Everything I'm doing now came from my childhood. Okay. I've saw it already. I never wanted a medicine cabinet. Okay. So I committed to exercise since I was a teenager.
Okay.
And being athletic. So taking care of myself is working out every day, if not every day, 3 or 4 times a week, meditating, sitting quietly, not a television on, not nothing, at least an hour. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm not asking for nothing. I'm not looking for nothing. 1 hour, I'm sitting still. Because here's the thing, Rhonda. What we want, it's an abundance of it.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Whatever you want, it's an abundance of it now.
Yes.
You don't have it for some reason or another.
Yeah.
I don't have it for some reason or another. I'm not looking outside of myself to figure out why I don't. I have all my answers. So I have to sit down and be still.
Listen,
It's not some outer space thing you want. It's here.
Yeah.
It's abundantly.
Yeah.
You know, it's infinite. It's here. You know, so when I ask myself, I know this, I know it for sure. So where is it? Why am I not having it? Where am I blocking myself? What do I need to let go of? Who is it I need to connect with?
That's right.
Or what is it? Where is it I need to go? Where does my feet, what soil does my feet need to be on in order for me to get everything I want in this life? Where do I need to be? You know, find me where you have me to be.
Oh, right.
That's all I'm asking.
Yes.
That's my daily prayer.
You done got me so fired up. I cannot even take it. But I need to say this.
Okay.
Listen, y'all, she tried to get me to meditate for years. She said, go start with 10 minutes at a time. Start, if you can't. I said, I can't do 10 minutes. She said, start with, just do 1 minute then. We sat together. This is a true story. I couldn't do it. I'm still to this day, maybe 5, I could do 5 minutes. But she says an hour. I'm trying. And I know it's a positive force. I know it's a great thing to do. I'm trying. I'm going to get there. I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be proud. I'm going to say, hey, I did 10 minutes.
You could here's the thing. Do 1 minute.
Yeah.
Start with 1 minute. When you start being still, I mean, really still, stopping this. Because this is what got you in trouble in the beginning.
Yes, it is.
Let's start there. Yes. This is what got you in trouble in the beginning. This is what's stopping and blocking you. Yes. This is what's with the negative self-talk. This is stop all of that and do all you can. And what I do is concentrate on my breaths, and I count my breaths, because 9 times out of 10, you can't count your breaths and have thoughts rambling too. If they do, just let them roll on off. At least try 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute. Because again, you need to stop the noise. It's the internal conflict that blocks.
I think we all, and there's a lot of people that have that noise.
Yeah. Well, I have it too, but I control it. I realize it, because I'll wake up and some negative thought, and it's like, girl, not today. I'm not doing that today. So you're not doing it unconsciously.
Okay.
That's the key. You're more conscious of what you're doing. When you meditate, you're more conscious of your actions and your thoughts. And you can say, I'm not doing that today.
Okay.
We're not doing that today. No self-talk.
Okay.
Exactly.
I love it. Look, we can go on and on. This has been a wonderful and energizing and powerful and everything.
It's my pleasure, Rhonda.
So that
it's always
I know, and I love you.
Yes.
I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
This episode of Trim the Fat is brought to you by the Lot Team, Memphis real estate powerhouse. Carol and Amanda Lott with Cry Like Realtors bring a wealth of knowledge and a track record of getting contracts to the table. Buying or selling, they're your go-to guides in the world of Memphis real estate. Visit thelotteam.com. That's TheLottTeam.com to connect with the Lot Team. Or you can text Amanda at 901-461-9246 or Carol at 901-461-4869 and let them turn your real estate dreams into a reality. When it comes to your home, experience matters. The Lot Team, where expertise meets hometown hospitality.